Okay, so this time I'm going to go ahead and open up the activity again. And I can see those familiar callbacks: onCreate, onStart, onResume. And I'll go ahead and play the game for a little bit. Okay, so now, instead of navigating back, I'm going to go ahead and go to the home screen. This puts the activity in the background. You'll notice that the lifecycle callbacks that got called are a little bit different. It did call onPause and onStop, but it did not call onDestroy. This is because you're not actually destroying the activity. There's a chance that you might go back to your game. In fact, if I do go back to the game, I see that onStart and onResume were called. But I don't call onCreate again, because I never actually destroyed the activity. Instead, this onRestart method was called. And as a result of all of that, I still have the score for my activity. And this is a pretty important user expectation. Users think that if they navigate back from the activity, that they're essentially exiting the game. But if you end up going to the home screen, you're just navigating away for a little bit, and you might come back via this recent screen over here, or opening the app again. This behavior is actually the same if the user navigates to another activity, such as if they were to get a phone call in the middle of playing your game. Now in both cases, this is known as putting the activity in the background. As in, it's no longer the activity which is currently on screen. It's kind of back here. The opposite of this is when the activity is in the foreground or on screen. So there's a few things that we could actually learn from this. The first is that onCreate and onDestroy are only called once during the lifecycle of a single activity instance. OnStart and onResume, on the other hand, could get called multiple times if you navigate to and from the activity. OnCreate is a very important step. This is where all of your first-time initialization goes. It's where you set up the layout for the first time by inflating it. It's also where you initialize your variables. Another important thing to notice is how these different callbacks mirror one another. onCreate and onDestroy mirror one another, and they each get called once. In the same way, onStop and onStart, and onPause and onResume mirror each other. Let's explore this a little bit more and understand the difference between onStart and onResume. I want you to go up here to this sharing icon and open up the share dialog. Then click anywhere outside of the share dialog to close it. Record the callbacks to see what you find.